Understand that as a member of parliament, I make it a point annually to have my license renewed and pay so that I can be of good standing as a lawyer. When I was a minister, the chief of staff every year made it a point to remind us to pay our bar dues and maintain our standing as lawyers. I'm asking, as judges, you are lawyers first, then you got appointed to become judges. Do you annually renew your license as lawyers? Because it is your license as lawyers that qualify you to become a justice of the Supreme Court, not your appointment as a sitting judge. So I'm just, I like to pay attention to the word of the Constitution. There are two things: high moral standards, that one I can assume that having maintained your position as a judge, you are of high moral standard and repute. Nobody has brought a complaint about you. Who advertised, nobody brought a complaint. So we know you've qualified. The second one that the Constitution says we should find out is, are you a lawyer of 15 years standing? 50 years standing, what does that mean? You are a judge. What does 15 years standing as a lawyer mean? Are you a lawyer of 15 years standing? Yes or no?
Honorable Chair, I did say no. And my understanding of the provision is that as of the time you are going to be appointed to that position, you should not have been less than 15 years standing as a lawyer. And what a lawyer does...
You're talking about your original appointment to the High Court. To the High Court.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Yes, so I heard that part, that at the time you were being appointed to the High Court, you had even exceeded 15 years from the rough calculations that we did. That's not an issue. Between then and today, which I believe is more than a decade, what has been your standing as a lawyer? Because it is that standing as a lawyer that qualifies you. If you have been Court of Appeal judge for 20 years, and yet you haven't been renewing your license as a lawyer, I have issues, because I like to pay attention. That's why we've spent several hours this morning, because I'm paying attention to the wording of the Constitution. I knew we would lose. We counted ourselves. We knew we would lose if I put to a vote. But I just wanted to make a point that this is what the Constitution says. So here the Constitution says that your qualification to be a Supreme Court judge is based on your standing as a lawyer for 15 years. What is your standing as a lawyer?
Honorable Chair, I would say that you cannot be in this country a lawyer and at the same time a judge, because the work of a lawyer is different from a judge. I cannot go and be an advocate or have clients or represent anyone in courts. That is the work of a lawyer. And so once I became a judge, I could no longer be a lawyer, even though I have legal, professional knowledge and background.
In the language of the Constitution, it says, high moral character, proven integrity, and is of not less than 15 years standing as a lawyer. So if judges cannot be lawyers, how can judges be appointed to the Supreme Court based on the language of this provision?
Bravo, please, sorry. You can proceed to answer the question.
Honorable Chair, I understand this provision differently from what my respected Honorable Minister member is interpreting it. So, so that's the way I understand it, and I think that I am eligible under this provision. Thank you, Honorable Chair.